It's time that Tottenham Hotspur's professional license gets revoked because what I seen tonight was diabolical. The most diabolical display of football I've ever seen in my life. Atletico 5, Tottenham Hotspur 2. That first 25 minutes of the game was the worst piece of football I've ever seen. It was pathetic. It, as a United fan, I can't believe that Amorim, Manchester United, lost to them and gave them their first trophy in 20 years. That's what's getting me mad. That's the exact same team, bar a couple new players. That's it. It was pretty much the same team in that Europa League final, and we lost to that. We lost to that. I hope they get relegated. Wrexham, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Plymouth, all of them, man. That's your peers now. Next season, get ready to learn those names. Get ready to learn those routes where the stadiums are, because that's where you belong now. Because my God, was that disgusting. Kinski, Igor Tudor lost his mind playing Kinski in goal. What is going on? Decision makings, players slipping on the floor. Van der Ven, another stinker game. I mean, the whole team had a stinker basically, other than Solanke when he came on. This is diabolical. Bun talking about Atletico Madrid. Yeah, they scored the 5 goals, but they weren't the main news. They just ate up what was given to them. They just ate. They just ate their dinner. There's nothing special that they did tonight because Tottenham Hotspur just gave it to them on a silver platter. Belt to us, belt to us. That's what it was. This game. Tottenham gave them the game. Wow, never seen this rating before. 2.9 as a rating. My God. Igor Tudor's lost his mind. Yeah, Vicario has been dead all season, been horror all season. But you play an unproven player, unproven goalkeeper, and you throw him into the knockout rounds of the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, 22 years old, unproven. And that's the first game you put him on. That's where you just threw him to the wolves. You set him up for failure. This is a worse Champions League display than Karius. This is worse than Onana. And Onana, look at the stuff he was doing. My, I feel sorry for the kid. The kid was I think he was crying. Basically, everyone consoled him except for Igor Tudor. I don't know why going for him. He got set up for failure. 16th minute, 17th minute actually. Stinker unhooked. I've never seen that before. Do I even talk about the game? Do I even talk about the game? Because honestly, this is the story of their season. Last season they finished 17th. This season they're around 16th, 15th. They're hovering around, uh, basically flirting with relegation. They're more than flirting. Last year was flirting relegation, but because the teams that got promoted last season were so bad that there was a big gap and they were pretty much safe for the second half of the season, they weren't going to get relegated, as even though it was an embarrassing season, same as United. This season, they don't have that safety net. They are literally 1 point off relegation. That's how embarrassing that is for Tottenham Hotspur. Every time I've watched them, say every time, I've watched them twice. That last game against, I've forgotten who, Crystal Palace, stadium emptied. I've never seen a stadium emptied that quickly in my life. Eerily quiet, awkwardness. It felt like a warehouse, basically, that stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Also, and then this game, that was the second game I watched. And also, just speaking of stadiums, you man are going to get relegated. Give us your stadium. We need to rebuild Old Trafford, pack up that stadium, send it all the way to Manchester. We need that more than you. We deserve it more than you. You don't deserve that stadium, and you're not going to be able to afford it next season. Maybe because of the concerts and stuff, but in the Championship, you ain't got the money. You're not going to afford that. Give it to us. We'll pay the money. This club is in the bin, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened a long time ago. The way this club has run, it is diabolical. It is unserious. They don't know what they're doing. There's no goals. Even when Daniel Levy was there and he was the face of it, being stingy with the money. signing players that they didn't need, signing the wrong players, the wrong profiles, signing bums basically. And then now Daniel Levi's gone. They don't have that scapegoat. Guess what? Fumbled SA, fumbled Gibbs White. Yeah, they got screwed over by Nottingham Forest, but either way, fumbled Sesko. Was it Sesko? Yeah, Sesko. I think just complete fumbling of potential signings. Fumbled Voltemada. They couldn't get anyone. They couldn't attract anyone except for Xavi Simons. They needed a left back and they needed a playmaking midfielder. Not go into January and sign Conor Gallagher. That just shows your intent is cluelessness. You don't know what you're doing. You bought Vinay from Arsenal. Don't know what he's doing. He seems like he's a secret agent for Arsenal and he's here to sabotage. Because what is going on there? Guys in charge of scouting, in charge of transfers. I don't see the vision. I don't see it. You say you want to be the big six. You are not a big six. Every time I hear big six, I'm like, why are they there? This is a big five. That's it. There's a big imposter there. They've been a big imposter. And that is Tottenham Hotspur. Uh, just give it to Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle's been having a bad season as well. But I feel like they're more of a big six team than you are. At least they try. At least they're passionate. Yeah, they've been fumbling this season mainly because of the same thing. They've not been signing the right players, and they've been getting screwed over by FFP, etc. They can't get the right players. They can't attract. But at least they've got the intention. Tottenham Hotspur, I don't know what your intention is. It's all over the place. It just baffles me. This is why I just don't care if you get relegated. I really don't care. I feel like you've played with fire too many times. Too many times. You tried to be a big team. You played with fire and and fumbled it too many times. And now you're gonna suffer the consequences. And maybe this will wake you guys up. Maybe next season in the championship, where you have to sell off a bunch of players, Romero, Pedro Porro, Van der Ven, Vicario, the injured players, Madison, Kulusevski, Solanke. These players are not going to stay. Xavi Simons, you think these players are going to stay and play in the championship? Hell no. You're going to have to sell them, and then you have to bring those young players. Mikey Moore, bring him back. I don't think even Archie Gray or Bergvall are going to say it, or Pape Sarr. I don't know if they're gonna say it. That's a stretch as well. Danes, you're gonna end up having to play young guys like bring back Mikey Moore. You're gonna play a Dane Scarlett next year. Just restart, keep those funds, sign a couple players for the championship. Then when you come back up, start signing players. Start bringing in young players that actually want to be at the club, actually want to work hard, not hotheads like Romero and Pedro Porro and Van der Ven. Not guys that just seem to not care anymore. Jed Spence as well doesn't seem like he cares anymore. Bring guys that are here to break their back for their club. Because right now the team is spineless. You need a complete restart. These guys are too traumatized at Tottenham Hotspur. It's time to clear them all out. Have fresh faces. Be a new Tottenham Hotspur. But unfortunately, it's going to be in the championship because this is diabolical. This is too much. You are not built for the Premier League. You don't deserve to be in the Premier League. The way you guys are playing, you are going to be out of the Premier League ASAP. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also, speaking of these players getting sold, who would these players go to? I think a lot of teams will benefit from those players individually. Man United wise, I don't know who we'd sign. I'm liking a couple of those midfielders like Bergvall, Archie Gray, get them as backup guys. But other than that, I do not know. Maybe get Solanke as a backup striker and then sell Xerxes. I like the sound of that. Have him and Sesko as our two strikers and they can rotate. I like the sound of that. But other than that, I don't know who else to get from Tottenham. I don't like the sound of Pedro Porro. Don't like the sound of Cristiano Romero. Both walking red cards. Van der Ven, I wanted him at the start of the season. Now I don't anymore. Look at the way he's moving. He's got attitude issues. Yeah, I don't know who I'll get from Tottenham. It's either Bergvall, Archie Gray, or Dominic Solanke for Man United. That's the only ones I could think of. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. Peace. Tottenham's in the mud.